Welcome back, family. Hey, Timo Hana here. I'm your host, Rich, and I'm lagging like heck. I don't know why, but I'm going to try to muscle my way through this. We're going to be covering the cover price top 20 for today, March 10th, 2025. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Robert Monroe checking in already here. You see that like, geez. Good evening, Rich and the Coconut family. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It feels like spring has finally arrived. I was cold this morning. I was at work and I had my long sleeve on. I was like, where's my coat? I'm freezing. I'm shivering. So apparently in Georgia, it's cold, but somewhere up in the middle of the state of New York, it's you guys have stolen our warm weather. Dang New Yorkers. I'm originally from New York. I can pick on myself. Anyway, yeah, I'm lagging here like crazy, and I'm trying to at least even look at some of these books before I had a chance to do this show. I've been trying to get this to load up for 10 minutes, and I think I finally got it loaded up, but no chance to really preview these. So I'm going into these pretty blind. So let's see how big a fool I can make of myself. Coming in at number 20 on the list, we have issue number 9, NYX, the 1 in 25 Fan Yang variants. It's a good cover. I mean, it's okay. I mean, doesn't blow me away. It's a very specific type of art, which is not like something that I really go after. But I'm not a big fan of variants. I mean, I've said this enough times, but I think that they're really ruining the hobby. 1 in 25 last sale here. We got $28 for a near mint, and people have pre-purchased the 9.8 back on February 1st. All right, so it's not really even somebody really purchased this way in advance. Dagger Cards checking in. How's it going, sir? I'm getting sick of the white stuff. I know you want to get out there and start putting some more miles on that bicycle for the Great Cycle Challenge /CA. David is got his what do you call it? A charity that he's trying to raise money for cancer. Really cool. Everybody should try to help support him as well. Yay, hey. So, and it does, let's see if I can find the banner. I think it's time for me to get new glasses. What do you guys think? There we go. So yeah, it's the Great Cycle Challenge, one word, .ca /writers /David Grass. If you want to help support him raising money for cancer, kids with cancer, if I'm not mistaken, then please feel free to join. So this is just about ratio of a brand new book, and yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go by JP's Budget Collecting has really done a lot of extensive research on these, and he talks about it on his show, which is in about an hour and a half or so on his channel, JP's Budget Collecting, where he goes over the Comic Tom and CBSI lists, and he's found in 99.99 out of 100 times, if it does not reach triple ratio, like a 1 in 25 should hit $75. If it doesn't, then it's not going to hold value. And honestly, this is just by looks. It's not a book that I would be chasing, and I think that's pretty much going to happen on this. I think it's going to fall back down. Good to go on the bike next month. But I mean, look, as much as we want to see help you raise money, we don't want to see you get hurt. So if the roads are not safe in Canada, then please, stay safe. And there's other charities that you work on anyway. Push-up challenge for mental health awareness in honor of vets and first responders last month. See, like I said, you do other challenges. Do the ones that are indoors. Man is always working trying to help other people. So anyway, the NYX I think is going to drop down in price. The Pop Kill 1 in 10. I would love to see this go up, but a lot of people order the Pop Kills. The cover A, the naughty version. There's several different. Boy, that's censored, but that's not. Okay, whatever. There are other copies as well, and for every 10 copies combined that your store bought, then they were able to get Another one of the 1 in 10. So I got a feeling that stores got multiple of these books, and I just don't see them holding value. Um, Now that being said, it is selling for 30, which is triple ratio for a near mint plus. I just don't see this one holding. I think this is going to really drop back down and come back down to like 12. I mean, I'm sorry. I just think there's too many of them on the market. Next up, Omega Man #3 is back up. Lobo is back in the house. We're getting closer to that Superman movie, and eventually we are going to see that character, or maybe some pre, what do you call it? Set photos leak out with him in makeup. That's going to be really cool. January 3rd of 2023, 2 years ago, this kind of first started to. This rumor started to, and we were hitting 554 for a 9.8. Then it dropped way down. Wow, look at that. It's actually down again. FMV of 348, and it's now back down to 325. That's not bad, people. Now, before Momoa signed on to play Lobo, I was able to pick up a copy of this for like 190. Now, I don't think it's going to get back down to 190 again, but I really do think this is going to drop down below 300 for the Superman movie. If there's no cameo, no end credit scene, nothing in the movie with Momoa playing Lobo or something to do with Lobo, then this book can drop down further. If there is even an end credit scene with Supergirl, which is supposed to be the next movie, and Lobo in it, this is going to spike back up again. Which it'll be a spike, but I don't know if it'll come down quite as much as it is now. But I still think we have a chance of getting under the $300 mark before that Superman movie hits. All right. Next up, we have Spawn, issue number 5, the newsstand version from 1992. It's the first appearance of Billy Kincaid and Shirley Johnson. This is the second week in a row this book has been up here. Again, it is the newsstand version that they're going for here, which was absolutely rarer in 1992. I don't know if it was rarer for Image, so they were doing anything they could to make sure their books were out there. Okay, so the 9.8 has gone up a little bit more. No, it's 3.1, so that's from last week's price. Let's see, 9.8 in 2021 was 359. That really has come down quite a bit, hasn't it? And your near mint plus and near mint regulars are $20 each. I've never been a Spawn reader. Billy Kincaid, I think, is the reason this book is going up, but it's pretty much has stalled since last week. We don't see any 9.8 sales in the last 10 days. There's a 9.6 sale for 56, which is lower than FMV. Mainly it's raws that are selling in near mint and the very fine, but really selling for about the same price. So whatever hype it was has peaked. Expected to go back down a little bit now. X-Force, issue number 116 from 2001. Well, this has dropped down a little bit on the list, but it's still on it. And I'm sorry, what the heck. First appearance of X-Static's team. First appearance of Zeitgeist, Dupe, You Go Girl, Coach, Anarchist, Battering Ram, Gin Genie, La Nuit, Plasm, and Sluck, or Slook, or whatever. Okay, again, do we care about these characters? Are we getting these characters anywhere other than maybe in a video game? Did we see any of these characters on Genosha in X-Men 97? Did any of them survive if they were on Genosha in X-Men 97? I don't know. Wow, look at this. Okay, so the 9.8, the FMV was 136. Remember who popped up last week? It is a great Spawn cover. I got to give credit. But the last sale, which was 2 days ago, 95. So whatever hype this had has already started to drop. And then the same day, an $85 9.6, which is higher than FMV. Jeez. I'm sorry. I just don't see the hype. I think this is, there was a couple of erroneous sales which got it up on the list. And I think those sales are starting to level out, and I think this book is going to drop back out into obscurity. My opinion. All right, next up we've got Daredevil 183, direct edition, first Daredevil versus Punisher, with the original Daredevil series. And every time a new season pops up, this book pops up on the list. It's a great cover, don't get me wrong, but this is like Midnight Suns. It's like every time you turn around, this book pops up on the list and it drops back off, and it pops up on the list and it drops back off. High water mark of this of a 9.8 was 474 back in 2023. Now the most recent sale is 205, but the FMV is 189. That most recent sale though was 227. So that's 2 weeks ago. 125 for a 9.6 just a few days ago. How are we doing on the raws? $23 for a near mint, 51 for a near mint plus. That was back in February. 25 for a very fine. It's the same day as 23 for a near mint. That right there is exactly why when I buy comics, I will spend the extra money and buy a graded comic, because I don't want to buy a book that is listed as very fine and it turns out to be fine or a very good, or buy a book that is supposed to be near mint and it comes in, these guys like, oh, the book is in perfect in beautiful condition. It's mint condition. It comes in and you're like, it's got 87 spine ticks. What are you talking about? Well, the book is 60 years old for that age. It's mint condition. No, mint is mint. Okay, you buy a graded book, you pay extra, but you're taking the guesswork out of it. It's gone in front of a panel of hopefully competent that day, not drunk people, and it's taking the guesswork out of it. If you're at a show and you can look at the book yourself and judge the book yourself, that's fine. But like buying raws like off of eBay, unless you have perfect photos of everything that you want, and check the feedback, because a lot of times the feedback is going to be saying this guy said it was this grade, but it's not this grade. That's important. Back to the show. Look, I love this book. I love this cover. This is some serious Miller work here, but when the Daredevil season is over, this will drop back down until next year when the next season of Daredevil comes out. Yeah. And honestly, I can't wait for the Daredevil season to be over. And the reason is because we've lost Stinker Buns until it is over. He wants to binge it all when it drops, but he's trying to avoid the internet completely. And you want to, I can't blame him. You just go to YouTube. You don't even have to watch the videos. It's all over the titles and everything, all the spoilers. He's already told me, he messaged me the picks for this month's Patreon get together, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. And, or is it Saturday after? Wait, what day did I put there for that? The 22nd. Right. Okay. Yeah, I should be there for that, I think. Yeah. The 22nd, we're going to be having our Patreon get together. And if you want to come join us, just, hop over to Patreon. Link is in the description. Join us, join Patreon and come hang out with us and get some free comics. Why not? Oh, he is here. I thought you were like not even here. Like I'm losing one of my best friends here. Thank you, Sticker Buds. Yeah, I'm like, just in case Garrett is watching, got to make sure I don't give any spoilers whatsoever. Okay, seriously, Garrett, though, spoiler free. I like what they're doing. There, that's it. That's all I say. I have a couple of nitpicks, but I like what they're doing. I think you're going to be satisfied with what you see. There we go. All right. So wait till season's over. This book will go back down. DC All-In Special. This is the first appearance of the Absolute Universe, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. They printed a lot of copies of this. It never seems to, it's trending down a little bit. We've got 9.8s now. So last one sold for 84 yesterday. And the raws, let's see, near mints, $5, still holding steady at cover price. So I think, again, they printed so many of these that I don't think it'll ever be worth something. But for $5 Honestly, I think it's a good read. Definitely want to pick one up and read it. It's got a nice wraparound cover. So, all right, the Magic #1, the Marvel Rivals cover, is back on the list again. And this is the only one I think that I'm not a fan of these covers. And usually video game ones are not, they don't last. However, this one does have a first appearance of Demon Crow, and people are continuing to read this. From what I hear, it's getting a very positive um, review from people as far as storyline. So, what do we got for prices now? 9.8 just sold for 78, dropped down from 98, and way dropped down from 120 on the 5th. Whoa. So somebody bought a 9.8 for 120 on the 5th, and a day later somebody bought a 9.8 for 78 bucks. Near Mint selling for 35 and Near Mint Plus selling for 50. Yes. This you can't have Near Mint Plus raws selling for 50 if the 9.8 slabs are going for 78. Does that mean you're buying a raw that you want in a super high grade and you're assuming that it's correct, where for $28 more, less than the cost of grading and shipping the book back and forth, you can have a guaranteed 9.8. So I think that 78 is off. I think that 78 should be higher. I think this is probably going to sell more like 90, 95, 100 for 9.8. But also in the long run, I think both prices, raw and graded, are going to come down in value. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue #1, there's a prequel to the animated series and the first appearance of Susan O'Hara. What do we got for prices now? Well, the 9.8 now is selling for 66. FMV is 61, so it's creeping up a little bit because of popularity. I think more and more people have watched the show after hearing positive things about it. I think they drop the episodes way too. Either drop them all and let everybody binge, or do them one per week. But dropping like 3, then 2, then 3, then 2. I don't know. I like the series. I did. It'll be a while before we see season 2, and I think they've already greenlit season 3 as well. But everybody, again, this is another one of those books that everybody bought. Raws now are still selling for 10. Near Mint FMV is 11. Near Mint Plus, that's back in February, means nothing. So the book is pretty much just holding price, which is good. And it's a nice cover. I do like that cover. So not going to hurt you to pick up a raw. I think you can get it for under 10. The 9.8 for 66. Yeah. Give it another couple weeks. It'll be down in the 50s. Grab yourself a copy and prepare for season 2. Okay. What the heck? We got Berserker on the list. Wow. This is a Mark Brooks foil. And I've got a ton of Berserker books. And I bought them in like a set. Yeah, 2 of those, 1 of those, 1 of this one. Actually, I think I gave a bunch of 1 of these. 1 of these. Jeez, I got a lot of Berserker books, but they had way too many copies. I did not get the 1,000, 1 in 1,000 incentive variants. But all right, so we got 9.8 selling for 47. Near Mint Raws selling for 10. I don't know what is prompting this book to be on the list, and it's not the last time we see this on this list. Then this is number 11. So this is the #1 of the honorable mentions. But we knew when they first did this, they were making it was going to be developed. That's one of the things that Keanu Reeves specifically stated when he did this. maybe now that John Wick saga is over, that everybody's they're getting into development on this. But again, there's so many copies of these things. It's it's the it's everything's just diluted. It's not going to shoot up in value. You're going to have those like extremely hard to find variants. Maybe the 1 in 100, the one in, I think there's a 1 in 250 or something. Let's see if I can read these from here. Oh, they got the red 1 in 10. This one is a 1 in 200, selling for $27 as a raw. Wow. Limited to 300, that was 180. Limited to 550, that was 21 bucks. Limited to 800, limited to 350, limited to 150, limited to 299, limited to 150. Here's the 1 in 1000, and I believe that one was signed. No, that's unsigned for $750. Signed by Keanu, 1 in 1000 is going for, let's say 1800, 1600. Limited to 300, limited to 666, limited to 6. Here's the Virgin 1 in 100, 1 in 25, 1 in 500. I mean, there's just too many. There's just too many, and people are just going to get overwhelmed by it and say, "No, thanks, I don't want to be bothered." That might be why people are not going for those variants, because what? This is like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. I did the Berserker Kickstarter. It was pissed when I saw copies of my LCS before I received my copy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I bought some kind of I think a grab bag, and it had like so many different Berserker books in it. I'm like, oh, you guys are just trying to get rid of this stuff. But I can't say it's going to drop in price because it's still selling for cover price. I mean, well, that one's $10. It's a near mint, but that's the foil. So, and I have the foil. The foil doesn't look that good on that one. All right, let's take a quick intermission. Give everybody 30 seconds and take an opportunity to say thank you to all the Patreon/YouTube members that help keep the channel going with their wonderful donations. Their monthly memberships. Right now, the YouTube members are they're able to access the latest video, which is a mail call. But you guys that are not members don't get to see it till tomorrow. That's when it'll drop. And Patreon members, get ready for that get together once a month, every Saturday. I'm sorry, every month. It's a Saturday get together where we're going to be pulling out some books and having some great conversation. After this month, I'm going to be mailing off the books that we've accumulated. I try to do it once every 3 months. If you're curious who those people are, right here. Now stick around, though. We still got the top 10 to go. Be right back. And we're back with the top 10. And you know what? Let's just let's start getting this one up and ready too. So get that banner rolling. You know I love to support Comics Curing Cancer with Rob's Fat Sacks of Comics, Comic Vet Chris, and DJ Links, and Austin LeMay, and all those guys over there. Just wonderful, wonderful. If I'm forgetting names, it's because I'm bad at names, and I don't mean to be, but sometimes I forget Mrs. Ohana's name. All right. Kenneth, hey, welcome to the show. You're just in time for us to start the top 10. If you want to see what happened in books 11 through 20, though, you're going to have to watch it on the rewind. But good to see you. How's everything going on in Virginia today? All right, let's move on to book number 10 on the list. We've got the Marvel Rivals Fantastic Four number 28, Peach Momoko with Galactus's daughter. I've never been crazy about this character, but I do like this cover and one of the things I always say about Peach Momoko, when she does backgrounds, I think it just makes everything look that much better. And you've got some kind of a background, some kind of color somewhere on here. It's better than just a character on a white piece of paper. So it's a better looking book, but again, it's one of the Marvel Rivals, and these type of books just don't seem to hold. We have a 9.8 that's sold for $80. That's interesting. We've got which is higher than the FMV, so it looks like somebody bought a copy for more money. But by the same token, somebody purchased a near mint regular for $2. That was yesterday. But a very fine also sold yesterday for 14. So that 8 is being dragged down by that too. What's the actual raw of a near mint selling for? Let's look what they were selling for right before that. There we go. 750, 225, 15, 15, 7, 6. Prices are all over the place on this. 4, 20. Okay. If it can't stabilize in prices, that means some people are just trying to buy this book and they're just grabbing one out there. Other people are being frugal and they're finding them. There's also a very good chance that we're getting erroneous data from other issues in the set. People with bad listings, which does happen. And if you give bad information to CovrPrice, that's what drives those equations. But still, in the long run, though, if you can get it for $2, go for it. What the heck? Can't really lose for that price, but don't go spending $20 on a raw or $80, $90 on a 9.8. You're going to be able to find this book much, much cheaper down the line. This would be a nice book to get her to sign with like a light color, like a white or a yellow or something that would really pop against that. It's got its Jeff there too. That's cute. So I think she signs for free too at her shows. Anyway, I think it's going to just stabilize and just not be as high as we've seen, but not be $2. Next on the list, we've got the Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man first comic appearance of White Tiger. Okay, so shoot, I know that Stinkerbuns might be listening. Okay, dude, you need to you know how I do it. I'm going to raise my hand and until this has got something to do with something you don't want to hear. Okay, so no spoilers. Hand up. When my hand goes down, that means I am done talking. Okay, so fair warning. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we got White Tiger. We knew we were going to get him in the Daredevil series based on the trailer. We actually do have him right from the very first 2 episodes. But the actor who played him, he's already passed. So I know they're going to pass the mantle on to somebody else. They did in the comic book a long time ago as well. I don't see this character having a long-term stay in the MCU. I think that this character is going to be made an example out of by Kingpin with his no vigilante agenda. I think that's where it's going to be. So I think by the end of season 1, this character is going to go bye-bye and this book is going to crash. Okay, so put my hand down. Okay, so that's the way I feel about that book. As a result, let's see, we got currently $207 for a 9.8, which is really not terrible for a 1977 book. Okay, we're coming up on this book being almost 50 years old. You got it, buddy. That's why when I saw it, I'm like, how do I do this? Oh yeah, I've got a method. But anyway, $207, and the FMV is $250. So the book has already come down in price. And again, this book is 48 years old. A $200 Spider-Man and a 9.8 for $200 is not bad. 107 for a 9.6. I think it's going to drop further, but still, that's not a bad price. Near Mint's Raw is going for $40. That's not a bad price for an almost 40-year-old book. These are all newsstands. They didn't have I don't think they had a direct sale. No, they did have a direct, but that's going to be really hard to find. In 1978, 1977. Wow. There were very, very few direct sale in 1977. Star Wars #1, which came out a couple of months before this, did not have a direct sale version. Imagine if it did. Oof. So keep your eyes out on this. If this book is coming down on price, you might be able to snag yourself an almost 50-year-old Spider-Man semi-key for a very, very fair price. I actually might put this on my radar. Not just yet, like I said, but it'd be a nice book to add to the collection. And it's a cool cover too. All right, so let's move on. We have Invincible. This book just loves to stick around here. First appearance of Conquest. Which way is this book trending? Still trending up. You Invincible fans, you are diehard, man. You are seriously diehard. Wow, 442 now for no, that's still 228, 227. So no graded copies are sold in the last week. Just raws. Near mint raw 169 sold 2 days ago. Very fine 145 sold a couple days before that. And the Earman Plus sold on the second for 145. Wow, I do not like daylight savings time. Just knocks me out of whack. The only real sale here since last week is that 169, which is trending it upwards. It's a near mint for a raw. This is 2009. It's a great cover too. But actually, I think. Oops. And I was talking about the other thing too. Oh, okay. Sorry. That's a Spider-Man book I think you should look for. Jeez, I hate when I forget to switch the screen back. That I think that every single Invincible cover is is really great. Do I think? See, I don't know enough about the Invincible universe to make a call on this. Is the Conquest character, is that in video game, the TV show, or in newer comic books that he's being brought back in? Need feedback from you guys. So I'm just going to abstain from this one. But the one thing I can say is that generally, if it's on the hot list for a couple of weeks, that means that everybody's looking for it. Wait till it falls off the hot list and the demand portion of the supply and demand goes down a little bit, brings the price down a little bit. Comic and show. Okay. So if it's a show related, then it's also going to be when the season ends, the interest will at least go down for a little bit. Think of characters that are in The Boys. As soon as the season ends, the prices come down a little bit. Season starts again. Oh yeah, I really wanted that, and it goes back up again. So if the show's going on right now, then this is the wrong time. Geiger issue number 10, second print. That Gary Frank still is hanging around on here. It reprints the first appearance of Ash Arden, but I see that red trending downwards. What do we got now? 9.8s. No sales since January. Let's check out the most recent sale of a near mint is now at $10, dropping it down a little bit. That was yesterday. Very fine, sold for $12 a couple days before that. So overall, it just looks like the near mints are going for $10. Now this is an image book, so the price was probably what, $3.99, $4.99. The whole thing is how many stores ordered second printings of Geiger. If they didn't sell out of the first printings, they didn't go ordering second printings. So it's a supply and demand type of thing. But I already see it trending downwards. I think that this book is going to be off the list by pretty soon. Got a lot of sales on. No, only 86 sales. Yeah, I think this book has got to drop off the list now. And I think it's going to return back to almost cover price. Next up, it's been a while since we've had a Dark Horse book pop up on this list. And it's nice to see. Sister Imperator. Let's see. It's an interesting cover. I guess if they make from the world of Ghost. Okay. Not familiar with it. So we got the two kids from The Shining and Margot Robbie. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I did not see this book even on the shelves last week. Trending 27% up, which means it's selling for $15. Wow. For near mint, and near mint plus selling for $20. No pre-sales of a 9.8. This is just the regular cover A, and there is a red foil that was available on the web store, and I don't. It looks like it's just part of the name is just is in red foil. So, did your LCSs get this book? I did not see this. Um, Maybe online you can find it for less. I don't think I'd be out there just dumping $20 on this book right now. Now, I 15 for a near min, 20 for a near min plus on the same date. Now, and what's really sad is it's going to be even higher next week now that people like me who had never didn't even know this book was selling in hot that see it on the hot list go, oh wow, I guess I got to go find this. So there's going to be a lot of people with FOMO that's going to drive this up because they can't find it anywhere. I don't even remember seeing this on the pull list. Anyway, maybe you might get lucky. Check your LCS. There might be some copies in the Dark Horse new comics, and you might get lucky. But don't go dropping $20 on this book till we find out if it's good or not. The Space Quest, which Space Coast of Johnny Quest. This is the number one. Is the Ash Can. Please don't get it mixed up with the pre-orders, which is coming out in a couple of weeks, which I do have ordered. Matter of fact, I ordered an extra copy as one of the giveaway books. But this is the Ash Can, so you're going to be able to find that Ash Can edition right there. Couple of things about this book. One, Ash Cans usually do decent. They usually hold value better than variants and better than your average books that pop out. Also, this is a Mark Spears book, which automatically has got a built-in price bump into it. So, what do we got it selling for? It is selling for near mint, selling for 32. The high water mark was 51 for a raw. I'm assuming that's going to be a near mint plus or a near mint. Most recent sale is that near mint plus going for 21, and a couple days before that, 32 on the near mint. So I think this book is starting to stabilize a little bit. I have no idea if what the quantities are, but if this was just a Space Ghost with the a new Space Ghost series coming out and it had an Ash Can and it was done by Mark Spears, I'd say it could really, really do well. I don't think there's a lot of people that are like diehard Johnny Quest fans, So I think it's going to come down a little bit, but I think it's going to hold a pretty decent amount of value just based on the Mark Spears part, the Space Ghost part, the Ash Can part, the look of the cover, which is really cool. It doesn't help that you're going to be able to buy just the regular cover. It's going to look exactly the same without the Ash Can label. So that's coming out April 16th. So keep an eye out for that nice fuchsia book in your LCS when it comes out. But I think it's going to drop down a little bit, but Ash Cans usually do decent in price, so it's not going to, just drop. Speaking of drop. Red Hulk, issue number 1, the PX previews. Everybody's going crazy. Got to have this book. It's limited to 3,000, man. That's kind of a high, that's a heck of a lot more than you're thinking. That's like, what, a 1 in 10? Jeez. 1 in not it's definitely lower than a 1 in 20. Easier to find than a 1 in 25. And it's a Hulk book, okay, big whoop. So we've got near mint plus selling for 75, near mint regular for 60, 9.8 pre-selling. Well, that's from last week's, no change, $173. No, heck no. What? Because we maybe have Red Hulk becoming Doom? I don't even know. No. We've had way too many others, and 3,000 is too high a number to support these kind of prices. The day before. All right, so next book up, we have Secret Wars issue number 2. Alex Ross. Now, this is not this. This is the same series, but a different issue from the one that was laying on the floor in the void in the Deadpool movie, which we saw in the trailer and caused that book to shoot up in price. But this is the first full appearance of God Emperor Doom and the first appearance of the Bar Sinister. And I think we may get God Emperor Doom in the Secret Wars. Um, so I think that there's a chance. Oh, boy, that cover art is horrible. I just don't like it. Throg is a nice touch, but geez. Anyway, it's the Alex Ross. What do we got here as far as prices? 9.8 FMV of 101. Last sale a couple days ago for 118. So it's up 17%. And near mints, instead of being 22, are selling for 30, and near mint plus 35, selling for 35. So it is trending upwards, not going too crazy. 900 total recorded sales. We had a lot of sales on this book. It's got an upside possibly if we do get God Emperor Doom. But are we going to? Don't know. 2015, it's a 10-year-old book. No. I mean, it's not a terrible price for roughly $100 if we do get that in a 9.8. I mean, if we get confirmation we're getting God Emperor Doom, this book is going to go straight to the dang moon. But are we going to? And in the same regard as this comic came out, alluded to, we've gotten so many crazy rumors. Me personally, unless you got like a great bargain, and I mean like $70, $75, I wouldn't go looking for it. Matter of fact, I would probably pass on it for 70 because it'd be one of those books that just sat in a box somewhere and I wouldn't care about it. I got enough of those as it is. Coming out number 2, we have Impact Winter, issue number 1 from Image Comics. I believe this was on the list last week. I do remember seeing that cover. Travis Beecham, Stephen Green, and Matt Hollingsworth. So we have, what do you call it? Option news. Like that never happens. And actually, I own one somewhere. Remember I said I got books in boxes? All right, so this is selling for $18. Wow. Okay, look, it's $18 for a near mint. FMV of 29. So it's spiked up hard, and now it's already come down quite a bit. $18 for a near mint. Near mint plus going for 15. Slab sales, no sales found. Okay. So this book came out in 2022. Okay. July. So we're almost at 3 years ago. There are no recorded slabbed comic sales. What that tells me, and I'm going to try to make sure I put this back on again, that in 3 years, nobody's cared enough about this book to, if they didn't slab any, they sure as heck didn't sell any. There are no documented sales, not 9.8, 9.6, 0.5 restored, nothing. Not one recorded sale in 3 years. That's how much people cared about this book prior to this option news. Okay. Now, we don't even know if we're going to get it as a movie. It could just be that they're locking it up so nobody else develops it, which has been known to happen more than you think. They could make the movie or TV show and it flop. Paper Girls. They could make it and it turns into a hit. And then as soon as it's over, it'll still go down in price. All that being said, if you were to try to buy every book that came out as an option, you'd have another mortgage on your house. And instead of doing that and missing 99 out of 100 just to try to get that one great book, wait till it turns into Something is Killing the Children and you see it start to go up in price and buy that. Okay, you'll have the one definitive winner and it'll actually cost you less in the long run. It's just, I don't know. It's just me. When I saw Something is Killing Children taking off, I took a step back for a little bit. And I'm like, is this real? I think this is real. I read a couple of the issues and, like second prints, third prints, whatever. And I'm like, this is a good storyline. Everybody is talking about it. I mean, I think it's going to get some option, news about it. So when something that's killing the children started its climb, I bought a 9.8 for $300. And it's gone way, 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 way higher than it is now. It's way down, but it's still twice what I paid for it. Now I could have bought every dang number one and in 9.8. I probably would have spent $1,000 and had one copy of Something's Killing the Children and 20 copies of books that mean nothing. So in the long run, it's cheaper to just wait and only buy that one book and not have to worry about trying to store 99 losers. Okay. That's, and I tried to say that, and then I wind up still buying the 99 losers because I'm, crazy. Anyway, coming in at number one, who would have thought? Berserker, number one, the cover A. Most recent sale, $2. Two. Woo! No, Nearman's now $4. That's still, I think, less than cover price. 9.8 just sold for $70. Okay. There are so many of these books. Okay. But it's a cover A and it's $4. If you don't have 20 copies of this, and or even if you only have 19 and you want to add more, if you don't have any copies at all, to go get yourself get yourself 2 copies for under $10. It costs you like $7-8, and read one or buy yourself an off grade one. Doesn't matter, it's still only $4. Read one, bag one, and if we do get option news, this might actually even jump up to say 10. The funny thing is that as much as I say they've printed so many of them, there's still less of these than there is of Spawn number one. There's less of these than a lot of the books that they printed millions and millions of copies of and are worth more than this. So if this ever turns into a movie series that gains the same kind of following as John Wick, maybe this becomes a $10-12 book. It's not going to go much lower than $2. So I'm just going to say right now, this is probably my pick for out of the. Well, let me take another quick look at the list before I say that that's probably the safest bet on the list. Just double checking everything that I see. Which one do I think purchased at today's price has the best chance of at least returning something on investment or at least not losing? Yeah, I'm going to have to say it. I'm sorry. My pick for the best choice is because it's, last recorded sales value, $2 for a raw near mint. If you can grab these at $2 and they do come out with a movie, when the trailer drops, this is going to be 10, which is 5 times the price. I don't think I'd spend $70 on a 9.8. I think there should be enough of them out there. You're going to find less than that, but not on the day that it comes out number one on the list. So get yourself a bunch of $2 books, send them in for a pre-screen. That's probably the simplest thing you can do. And then, keep which ones you want and sell the rest. All right. Time now to pick the bust of the week. Do I even really got my disdain for this book right off the bat? Limited to 3,000. Jeez, can't believe this. Red Hulk issue number 1, the Joshua Cassara PX previews. $75 for a near mint plus, $60 for a near mint, $173 for a 9.8. Heck no. No, I'm sorry. It's going to be way too many of these. I've seen people with postings like, I'm so glad I was able to get like 5 of these or 4 of these. Or yeah, no, this is going to drop. There's no way it can sustain these prices with how many copies there are. Okay. So That's just my thought on it. And if you happen to have 3 or 4 copies, congratulations. I mean, maybe there's a jealous part of me that I have 0, but yeah, I'll still be able to sleep tonight. So I want to know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think is the best book on this list to invest in? The worst book in this list to invest in? I think Impact Winter is one of the ones you should definitely not be buying it at this time. I would not put money into Invincible, first appearance of what was it, Conquest? Kumquat? Conquest, yes. Invincible number 61. It's not to say that I think this book is not worth it. I would just wait till like in between seasons for it to drop off of everybody's radar and try to get it for a better price. Definitely don't want to purchase that Daredevil against Punisher, because it spikes up every time something Daredevil news pops up. Like clockwork, it's another version of the Midnight Suns. Somebody's fart smells like sounds like it says Midnight Suns, and boom, the book's on the list again. So again, but that's a great book cover to have. Just wait for it to not be in the news. And that's pretty much it. And keep your eyes open for good bargains on Omega Man, and just be prepared that if Jason Momoa is in makeup as Lobo in an end credit scene of Superman, we may have missed a golden opportunity to get this. We don't know how far down it's going to go. If they don't have it, it can go a little bit further down. If they do have it, boing, it's going to shoot right back up again, and we're going to be like, dang, I just missed it. Okay, so that is the way that I look at this list. Hopefully, you guys are enjoyed the show. And if you did, please remember to click like. Would love to have you as a subscriber if you're new. Click on notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. Like tomorrow, I'll be dropping the mail call, and Wednesday we have our live stream with New Comic Book Day. We give away books every single week. It's not just new, but we also give a little bit old, a little bit new. And you do not need to be present to win. But if you are present and you are picked as the winner, you will get a bonus just for being there in the live stream. All right. So I'm going to bring myself back up here. Say, guys, I am going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you so much for joining. Again, like, subscribe, notifications, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I don't know if you noticed, but I acknowledge and say, cool to every single one. If you ask me a question, I'm going to try to answer it. That's about it. Guys, until I see you in the next video, mahalo.